So, what do you need to know about the analyzer profile? So, what we know about the analyzer pattern is typically they've got this high dominance drive. So, we'll find them quite independent, self driven, self motivated. They're naturally quite reserved and introspective, really like to think about their problems more on their own before sharing ideas with others. So, we will find they're quite task orientated. In the workplace, they want to talk about work. Their low patience drive will see them wanting to move at quite a fast pace, and they'll like lots of variety in their role. All of that will cause them to be quite proactive. So you'll see them often initiating things, they'll be a bit of a change agent, wanting to solve problems and to do that quite quickly. We also see with their high formality drive, they want to conform to rules and structure. More importantly, they're going to be meticulous about their own job. They're going to want to make sure things are checked and done to a very high standard. So if you think about all of that combined, they're going to want to work really quickly with a high attention to detail. They're going to be big problem solvers. They want to think about big picture, and then they want to get into the details and make sure it's done right. So you can see why they're called an analyzer pattern, because of their heads down in the way that they want to work. Now, if you're working with an analyzer, things to remember is they're going to be quite disciplined and focused on execution. So for them, they are going to provide clarity and want to get into the depths of the work, but they're also going to follow up, making sure things are done the correct way, or maybe their interpretation of the correct way. Now, if you want to motivate this individual or provide them with recognition, they really do want to have that recognition more privately. So more one-on-one. You're better off walking in, having a conversation and having that more privately, maybe over an email, more typed type of conversation. Definitely don't put them up on stage. That's not really going to motivate them. The other way to motivate them is to give them control over their own ideas. Typically, if they've come up with an idea, they're very happy to run with it and go and implement it. The other thing for them is to let them show off their knowledge and expertise. Typically, analyzers will be a bit of a subject matter expert. They like to gain knowledge and expertise. And the more comfortable they are in sharing that, the better they'll be in being a great coach and mentor to others. Now, when you're providing direction and feedback, make sure that you give them lots of clarity of expectations. They want to know the rules of the game before they proceed. They also will be a little bit sensitive to criticism, in particular about their own quality of work. So make sure that you're quite sensitive when giving them feedback, making sure that it's not being seen by them as critical, but more giving them feedback on their work. When providing direction or feedback to an analyzer pattern, make sure that you're quite sensitive and cautious around giving them detail if it's got to do with their quality of work. For them, they take a lot of pride in their own quality of work, probably setting themselves their own goals. If you give them feedback around those two areas, please be quite sensitive around that. The other thing to remember is when you're giving them direction, provide them lots of clarity of expectation. They do want to know what's expected of them. They'll probably want clarity around their job expectations and even the goals and KPIs that surround their role. Now, when you're delegating to this person, definitely don't delegate them repetitive work. They don't deal well with that because of that low patience drive. And the other thing is make sure when you delegate, you probably want to delegate authority to them. They do like control over their own activities. So don't delegate the mundane task, delegate the whole thing or something they feel that they've got real ownership over. If you're coaching an analyzer pattern, areas you might want to coach them around is helping them move an idea or a decision forward. Because of that high A and high D, often you'll see a little bit of that analysis paralysis kick in. So they want to move an idea forward, but they want to do it right. So where you can help coach them is really unpack their ideas and help them either move something forward or to park it for later. So hopefully this has been really helpful on talking to you about the analyzer pattern. You can see how much strength there is in these roles and where they can bring value, but also how you can work best with an analyzer pattern.